Ended on a rather cynical note, I do apologize. The gentleman on your screens is Harlan Hill. He's a Democrat strategist. He used to be with Bernie Sanders. And I want to know, what does Harlan Hill make of my demand that we get a tax cut to get things moving? Am I right or am I right?
Well, I think it's pretty simple. I mean, look, I am a Democrat, and I think that government has a place to do a lot of things. I think healthcare is one of them. But we don't have to just keep growing and growing our deficit. We should be more efficient with the money that we have. And I think, look, I work in technology now, and I see that technology is making everything more efficient across our economy.
True.
And the only thing I see that's not getting more efficient is government. So it's getting less efficient.
Do you want more of it?
Well, I just want it to work better. I think that there's a place for government. I think that there's a place for some government services.
It never works better.
Well,
how many centuries do we have to understand?
I'm still idealistic that we can actually make government work.
Well, you're young, but I think
maybe I'll grow out of it. I don't know. We'll see.
Plenty of time. Okay, how will the Democrats, whether it's Bernie Sanders or whether it's Hillary Clinton, I don't care, how are they going to give us growth in the economy? How are you going to get it?
I don't think Hillary Clinton's going to do it. I mean, this is why I'm not voting for her. I mean, look, so I agree with you. I think we do need tax cuts. Right? And when you look at Bernie Sanders, this is the one thing I didn't like about him, is that he wanted higher taxes across the board. If you were poor and barely making it, you're a single mom, making $30,000 a year, you're going to pay higher taxes.
You think it's okay to tax more already heavily taxed wealthy people?
No, I'm saying fine. Let's be fair. Let's cut taxes across the board. I think that it's an economic stimulus that has worked in the past. Worked under Reagan, worked under Bush in the 2000s. I'm all for it.
Okay. How do you about the other part of my take was the central bankers of the world are lost. They've lost control, and they've, in fact, become powerless because everything they've tried has not worked.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on that?
Well, I see, looking across the globe, negative interest rates. I mean, it's pretty scary, actually, kind of where we're headed. And so I guess relative to the rest of the world, the U.S. looks relatively stable. So that's at least good.
You're grasping at straws.
Yeah, I know. I mean, look.
Look, have you crossed the line, come over to the right side of thinking and understand that free markets are the way to go, capitalism, individual liberty, less government, less taxation, less regulation? Surely you understand. This is how you get prosperity.
Fine, I actually reject the premise because I don't think this is a partisan issue. This is not a partisan issue. It used to be that Democrats and Republicans could agree.
I'm talking economics.
Yes, I think that there used to be that we could agree on these economic issues. That we could agree that we need to tax the hell out of job creators. That used to be a bipartisan issue. It's not anymore. It's not anymore.
So you voted for Trump?
Well, absolutely. You know it.
There you go. You could have saved us all this trouble if in the first 30 seconds you said it.
Yeah.
But we did have fun. Thank you very much indeed. Harlan Hill, you're all right. Now, serious subject here, and it's for the judge. The father of one of the victims in the Paris attack of last November is suing Facebook, Twitter, and Google. He says they helped ISIS spread their message of hate and spread radical Islam. Judge Napolitano is here. Now, first off, he is suing, I believe, he's suing in Europe. If he were to sue in America, I take it the case would be just thrown out.
I would think so, yes, because there's a little thing called Congress shall make no law abridging the freedom of speech. Remember that. And that includes hate speech as well. So there really would be no role for the courts here. All speech is protected.
Well, could I sue somebody on the grounds that you've allowed this hate on your medium, on your whatever it is, Facebook, and that has created death in America?
No, because the constitutional remedy for hate speech or bad speech or speech that encourages violence is not sanction or suppression. It's more speech.
Okay, so you can't control it.
Now, in France, God only knows how it'll turn out. They won't get a jury. It'll just be a judge. They sometimes award nominal judgments, so a monetary figure ridiculously low, but it allows the plaintiff to boast that he prevailed.
On similar lines, a group called Anonymous, they're hackers.
Right. They can hack into anything.
They've hacked into Twitter, and they've not shut down, but they've affected some Twitter accounts. My question is, why doesn't Twitter self-police itself with these messages from ISIS and what have you?
Well, if you owned Twitter and were by the click would you be stopping people from clicking on your site, or would you want more clicks so there'd be more money in the coffers?
When I saw 50 people or 49 people massacred in Orlando, I might think about that.
No, it's
Yes,
such a stretch to suggest that Twitter is complicit. It's as much a stretch as the New York Times saying the NRA caused Orlando.
I'm with you, but they're part of the problem, aren't they? So they could be part of the solution. I mean, there's a demand that something get done about this, because ISIS is recruiting people online, and it's happening, and people are dying.
I know, but the best weapon for that is another version of an ideology of freedom. It's not to suppress the use of the instrumentalities of communication. They'll just find another one, like whack-a-mole. You hit that thing down. You've ever played that game? It's popular in Britain.
I have, yes.
Yeah. And another one pops up and drives you crazy.
The occasional carnival I've been to. Yes, I have. All right, serious subject. The alligator attack at Disney. Now we find that a neighboring hotel did have warning signs about alligators. The Disney hotel did not. I take it this makes the liability lawsuit even more winnable.
You know, I think it's irrelevant what the neighbor had. The lawsuit is will be very, very strong against Disney. In fact, I suggest to you there won't even be a lawsuit. They won't even file a complaint.
Yep.
Disney is probably, as soon as the grief is over, going to show up with a checkbook, and they can almost write their own number, because it's Disney.
But surely part of the settlement, if I can call it that, would be that they take remedial action about the alligators in that lagoon.
That would be a good thing for Disney to do from a PR point of view. It wants more people from Nebraska, not fewer people.
Yeah, I got you. You know, Judge, you just covered 3 topics in as many minutes. And
you just asked 3 great questions in as many minutes.
You're right, I did.
And a fine next... Varney.
Have you guys finished?
We're about to go to a coma over here.
Harlan Hill, the bow tie man, is still with us. Look at this. The Dow has come back. Okay, we're down 60 points.
Mm-hmm.
That's 100 points less than we were down earlier.
So if we have another 3-minute conversation, it'll come back even more?
No, you had nothing to do with the Dow. I honestly think there's something to do here with that shooting in Britain.
There's no other news happening. We're tracking, actually not tracking it.
A British member of Parliament shot in the street. She was a Labour MP. Now, it may have been a political shooting because both the Stay and the Leave campaigns in this vote next week about whether the Brits should leave Europe, both campaigns have suspended their operations, at least temporarily. That implies it was a political shooting. If it was a political shooting of someone who was in the Stay campaign, and it looks like it was, that helps the Stay campaign,
for the Remain,
which helps our market here. I mean, it's a tenuous connection.
It is.
But we're down only 60 points. All right, we've got to take a break. But after that break, Gary Player's with us. We're going to ask him to choose which course is the hardest one that he's ever played on, bearing in mind that the US Open started today. And Legends and Lies, the Patriots, John Adams, Ayers,